Hey, greetings from the Great North Woods, part of New Hampshire. And actually in a special, very special location, I would say, to start things off for our tour today. We are in front of the Stark Union Church from 1853, which might seem like nothing to any of you, and you know, maybe it's not. Just being in this little village, Stark Village right here. There's not much to it. There's the church right here. And then you have this old schoolhouse, which is still their schoolhouse. You can see it behind me. This is the Stark Village School from 1890, I think. And what's cool about it, this structure here, the church there, the covered bridge we're about to cross, is that it seems like a very, very quiet spot. And you know what? You would be right. And with the rock ledge in the background and the beautiful river right here, it just seems like back when it was founded in 1774, not much has changed. But Stark has a little bit of a dark past to it, actually. And that's why we're passing through on our way to Pittsburg. So if you go down that road, 110, a few miles, you're going to see a large cornfield on the left. And I think if you park across from the cornfield and you head into the woods, what you'll find are remnants. Isn't it beautiful? What you would find would be remnants of Camp Stark, a German prisoner of war camp. That's right. During World War II, some of the Germans that were captured, they were brought here to Stark, of all places, in northern New Hampshire. And what's really kind of surreal about it is that in their camps, which I was trying to find some of the remnants of the camp so I could actually show you some of the buildings, but now they're actual like residential homes. When the war came to an end, those people that were here, they should choose to go back to Germany or they could stay here, and many of them decided to stay. And while this is the populated part of town, across the bridge, I was trying to ask myself, like, why would they send them here, of all places? Very good question, I think. And aside from this school bus not being the reason why, what's next to the school bus would explain it perfectly. Check this out. I'm pretty sure that this railroad was around then, just as it is now. So this was an easy access point to bring the soldiers in, to drop them off, and to manage them. And walking on this right now, these telephone poles, for example, you're like, well, wait. So what'd they do while they were here? Well, they did a lot of manual labor. This is the lumber part of New Hampshire. And because Berlin is only about 25 miles that way, where all the paper mills were. So I don't know if they were cutting down trees for the paper mills or for clearing roads, but for the most part, that's what the German prisoners of war were doing each morning. So, just a little, I thought it was an interesting little stopover point. Thought you guys might find it cool too. All right, back in the car. One more cool fact. This right here is the Stark Inn and Breakfast. It's been around since 1850. So it's seen a lot, including probably different soldiers who were coming up here to check on the prisoners. Hey. Now, if you follow the railroad line, go towards the west, the next town you'd hit would be Groveton. And as I was driving down the road, I saw this cute church right here. It's St. Francis Xavier, and I said, hey, you know what? Let's see if it's open. We'll take a quick look. I'll say before I open the door, just kind of like a funny little thing. You can tell that you're in a place from the past, or they haven't rented. It hasn't changed much, because right across the street, do you see the movie rentals? Jeez, I wonder when the last time that was actually used. It's cool already. The church is open. So let's take a look. Huh. Wow, it's very stark. Oh, it's so much wider than I expected it would be. Cool. This is like a traditional northern New Hampshire church. Not many decorations, which I guess is fitting as well. I don't think I've ever been inside a Catholic church with so little for the decorations. I mean, I like it. It's different. God, what is that? Is that Bigfoot? So this is downtown Colebrook, and it's wet. So we'll hit this on another day. This part of the world, anyway. I'd say this is the last big city, in quotations, in this part of New Hampshire, the Great North Woods. It's quaint, it's cute. It's worth a stop. There's a nice little restaurant up here at like an inn. The dogs are telling me how miserable it's been. It's been raining, and they've been stuck in this really expensive UTV or ATV. I don't know what you want to call it, but. We didn't stop at any of the places I wanted to go to in the Republic of Indian Stream, or Indian Stream Republic, which is basically known as Pittsburg, New Hampshire now. But from 1832 to 1840, this part of New Hampshire, the most northern tip, was its own independent country. So now we're at the Buck Rub Pub. Sorry, yeah, the Buck Rub Pizza Pub to get some food. I always stop here. It's good. So this is Buck Rub Pub. So it's pretty cool being back in here. First of all, I got my cheese curds, spicy ranch right here. Curds, if you're not familiar with them, it's like mozzarella sticks, but it's not mozzarella. It's different cheese, and still very good. So this is like my fourth time being here at this place, at the Buck Rub Pub. They used to call it the Back Rub Pub, which it's not, but I like this place so much, I used it as a scene for one of my books. I prefer the ranch than the spicy ranch. Cheers. Go Canada. And for our final part of lunch, a little meatball cheese pizza. Oh, and like that, look, the sun is out now. So now I'm like, okay, do we cut back, show you more of the Republic, or do we show you the northern part of Pittsburgh, real Pittsburgh, where the lakes are? I don't know. It's a good question. Side commentary about my meal. Several years ago, see, I originally came up here, I found this place because during COVID I was trying to find places that I could go where it wouldn't be inundated with a lot of the tourists. And little did I know, but coming up here, it was pretty mobbed with people from New York, Connecticut, other people from out of state who, because this region is huge for the using those all-terrain vehicles during the summer and fall and spring, and in the wintertime it is like the snowmobile center of New Hampshire. So, all right, well, let's see what else we can find. Well, we got off the main road, and I'm going to show you a little, this is what you get when you're in Pittsburg, when you get off these little side parts right here. Now, I don't even know, it's just this Happy Corner Bridge. See how cute it is? I'm like, can my car even go across this? It says weight limit's 3 tons. What do you guys think? Drive quickly. Oof. And then you're on dirt roads. And this road, if I remember right, will take you down to a park. But really, I just wanted to go see the covered bridge because that's kind of my thing right now, is hanging out with the covered bridges. These dirt roads, this is all for the UTVs, the ATVs, all that stuff. So now we're going to turn around because it stresses me out and take a look at the bridge. And a miracle has happened I did not realize. Last time I was here, several years ago, I couldn't get a cell phone signal from, say, down yonder, near where I was eating, all the way up to the border. Like, you get them, like, in different segments, but where I was staying, there was nothing. So, where I'm staying, pretty close, we got something. It's cool. So, yeah, here's the Happy Corner covered bridge. They put some nice lights on it, which is very decorative. Now, the reason why that we stopped here, aside from hearing the rushing water, is because this is more for a writing aspect. I put a scene in here at this very spot. And I just wanted to see if I imagined it correctly years later. But, as we do that, look how beautiful this is. Awesome. I'm a little freaked out though, because down below you can see through this, so that's a little much for me. Trying to be careful here. See, usually when I'm here, or the few times I have been here, the water's not rushing. This is because we've had so much water, so much rain. Gorgeous though. Beautiful spot. Here's a new adventure for you. Well, we pulled off at at the park entrance for the first Connecticut lake. We'll go up a little bit in a moment. I have like an hour and a half to kill until I check into my cabin. But I wanted to show you guys this because this, well, first of all, here's a little hack. You don't have to drive all the way down. You can actually park in random spots right on, and then this way you don't have to deal with people. You guys like that? My little introvert hack? I know. But this way you get your own picnic table way down here, right on the point, and you're still able to be around the water. So let's go for a walk, and I'll fill you in. Now, it's kind of funny being here, because last time I was here, there were some people. I mean, actually, this is probably the most people that I've ever seen here at a given time. I always tell myself I should come with a kayak or something, because I always want to go over to this spot, this island. Haven't had a chance. Last time I was here, though, you could almost walk out to it. Yeah, it was pretty convenient. The water was low, but not so much for today. Now, the Connecticut lakes, for people that aren't familiar with it, the Connecticut lakes and Lake Francis, the Lake Francis they ended up making, it's a reservoir for Lake Francis, but Lake Francis, these are your foundational pieces for the Connecticut River. So for the big river that goes through, that borders Vermont and New Hampshire and then cuts through Massachusetts and down through Connecticut and out, I think in Lyme, into Long Island Sound, this is where it starts. We almost parked right next to the dam over there, but I felt a little bit odd about it because I saw these guys. There actually is a construction crew, and they're on the side, and they're spackling on the side of the dam right now. And I'm like, wait, you're spackling? So if you're spackling it, does that mean that there were holes? Now you can't see right here, but there's a dog. He's so cute. He keeps swimming back and forth. He must be a water dog. At first I thought it was a deer. All right, let's go farther up and check out more of the First Connecticut. There's a better view. Well, this sucks a little bit. I had this great view I wanted to show you guys, but look, they're doing construction. And not only that, they're doing like road work right where my little beach is that I went off. So hopefully you can see this over here. I don't know if you can, but it's like a great view. All Christmas trees. That's what it feels like when you drive down this road. This is the last part until you get to the border. And it's all just woods. Woods and woods for miles. Well, with my view blocked, I just kept driving. At this point, I think we're just going to see all the Connecticut lakes, except for the fourth one. The fourth one, you have to cut into the woods, into the border. But what's kind of nice, if you're a hiker, I pretend to be, but I didn't really plan for it and for today. But if we go down this trail right here, there's the falls in 1.5 miles. But I thought it'd be nice to just stop off right here and just look at the view. Again, I'm a little bit concerned about what they're using to block the water. I mean, doesn't that look like plywood to you? I mean, I'm good with the rest. It's just the plywood, not so much. Water going through down there. It is loud. Loud and merry. Now, you don't have to go that much farther down that way. And there is a boat spot. There's a landing you can put your boat on. If I remember right, it's just like rowboats, though. Can't get really any more in the middle of nowhere, though, so you can expect it to be quiet. Pretty cool, huh? Makes sense why I probably came here during COVID. And then I came here the year after that because I was looking at the fall colors and it was raining. And then I remembered that this is all Christmas trees, so you're not going to get any colors. A little boneheaded. Well, as promised, I just got off onto the dirt road right here. Taking you down to the boat launch so you can see what it looks like. I like the signs. They're like, they don't maintain this road during the winter. I'm like, yeah, shocking. I don't remember this being so far. But then again, you know, everything seems close, relatively speaking, I guess. Or maybe not. Where is this boat launch? Huh. Maybe I went... No. I'm on the right road. I had to think about it because there's like a house right here. There's like a beautiful like house. And I'm like, that's a landmark for me. So we'll be turning momentarily. it down the way. And look at this boat launch right here. Tell me what you guys think. I've never seen the water this high to begin with. And that's even with the plywood, preventing the water from going down. Yeah, so it says caution, rapid changes in water level. That's reassuring, isn't it? So the second Connecticut lake, and you know what? I forgot about all this. Each of these lakes have actually different names. Originally, this was called Lake Carmel, after Carmel Mountain, which I think is the one where the clouds are over right now. I think it has been since renamed Rump Mountain. I kid you not, Rump. But, yeah, I don't know why they had to change it, because I think it's better to call it Lake Carmel, but maybe the map goers, they were just like, oh, it's just easier if we call everything the Connecticut. Now, I don't know if you guys can see it well. I'm going to zoom in as much as I can. But directly overhead, I think, man, are we getting it? We might have it, we might not, but there is a fire red tree over there already. Fall has started to creep in this part of the world. It's beautiful now. And as far as I know, there's no camps or anything on this lake. All right, on to my favorite of the Connecticut lakes. I feel bad, we skipped Lake Francis, so my middle namesake, where the dam is itself, but we'll hit that on another day. I promise. But we got to go hit Lake Sophia now, my favorite one of the Connecticut's, and then gonna check into the cabin. So we drove farther down the road. I'm going here to just kind of show you something, how there's no cars. I literally passed 2 cars in the last 12 miles. But if you go less than a half a mile that way, it's the border, the Canadian border. It's a quiet spot. Right here is, I think, the last boat ramp, if you will, in New Hampshire, the most northern one. This is Lake Sophia, or the third Connecticut lake. I first saw this lake back in 1998. Wait, hold on, let me think. 1999. I was dating a girl at the time, and her family had a place in Pittsburg, of all places, up here, closer to where we ate. And we decided to do a lunch trip to Canada, where I just showed you the crossing. It's a magnetic area, so you go there and you can do some cool stuff with your car. What's cool about this spot, it actually has 2 different things. I mean, right now we're at the beginning of the Indian Stream Republic, which was a dispute area between Lower Canada and the United States from the Treaty of Paris in 1783. And the discussion was over whether the Connecticut River was the boundary or Hall Stream. And both sides, they disputed it for the next 60 years. So by 1832, the people that lived in this region, they were like, hey, you know what? We don't have a country technically. I mean, they felt more allegiance, I believe, to the United States, but they didn't technically have a country. So that's where the Republic, the Indian Stream Republic, came to be for those eight years, until they finally agreed that Hall Stream would be the border. And then these 60,000 acres, I believe, became part of the United States, like formally. Another thing about this lake that I found was cool. And I was always fascinated. Like, I thought it was, as I said back at the Lake Carmel, aka the second Connecticut, I found it weird that they renamed it. Well, the third Connecticut, has been and still is called Lake Sophia. And Lake Sophia is based off of a legend from the 1700s. There was a tribe, I think it was like the not the Cossacks or the Cossacks, but started with a K. But anyway, they were a part of the Abenaki greater tribe, and they had gone up the Connecticut River, and they had come up here on their canoes. And Sophia, the tribal, the chief's wife, she didn't feel well, and she ended up succumbing to her sickness, and she died here. So what they did is they buried her in a mound of rocks, not on this side, I don't believe, but somewhere on the other side. Okay. And for many years, members of the tribes, they would come up here and they'd pay their respects to that, to the burial mound. And then for many years, the location of it was actually lost. So I believe in 1980 or something like that, the tribe, the members of the tribe that remain, with some help of some other like with some help from the local government, they were able to find the site again, but they've kept the location a secret one for obvious reasons, to maintain the purity of the burial mound in the ground. But anyway, Lake Sophia, it's beautiful. And if you were going up to cross over the border, I think it's a cool spot to just stop. And there's a trail over yonder that goes over that ridge, and that'll take you to the fourth Connecticut, which I believe is partly in Canada, and that lake is the final lake of the series for the Connecticut. And then the final part to share in this random menagerie of lake stops. Look at this tree. I feel like it's Christmas. Kind of want to come back here in the snow. But what I was going to say is, in my latest book, which hopefully it's all ready to go. I'm waiting for some official words from someone in regards to its release. But there's a pivotal scene that actually takes place right here, where the lead character and the people she's with, they stop on this side of the lake, they go fishing, and she leaves them. And then she goes along the water this way until she finds herself deep in the woods over there near the burial ground, of all places. Geez, I wonder if I did that on purpose. This makes me sad right here. I remember, well, I've been coming up here now since, 1998, 99. So it's sad looking at this farm. It's pretty. I can still see the beauty in it, even though it's now a decrepit structure. Don't worry, we're not going to go explore. It's not my kind of channel. I did want to show you this, though. And of course, the sun, it has to radiate down at this exact moment. Now, obviously, it's just a little tease, but that's what our fall colors look like here. That tree. But it's like all the trees, and eventually, give it a couple weeks, we'll start to get most of them here in this area. That's why I come up here, though. I love looking at the leaves. Well, we found the original lake that I wanted to show you guys. We're at Lake Francis now. Whew! It's the only one that we hadn't seen yet. Well, we had to piggyback a little bit to get over to Lake Francis. And as I told you guys earlier, Lake Francis, out of all of these, when they decided to put the dam in over in the Pittsburg village, they had to flood like a bunch of like towns. Well, not that many towns, but this used to be all like farmland. So there's some other vantage points, but let me just show you this part of the lake, and that'll conclude our tour of the Connecticut River, the Connecticut Lakes region. It's a bit breezy today down here. The front's actually coming up from the south. So if you go out that way, there could be a car in there, something else exciting. Now, during the winter time, in addition to people going out on this on their snowmobiles, the cross-country skiers will just flock to these lakes, especially Lake Francis, and take their time here. That's where the region makes their money in the wintertime. Well, I think that's it for today, or that's it for this part of our tour. Showed you the lakes. Maybe you'll come up here, the most northern town and the largest town in New Hampshire, and get a look at it for yourself. All right, guys. Till next time. Peace.